we last had you on in June, so anybody who is interested in getting sort of a high level about like, what is movement and what is the vision there should go back and listen to that episode because I think it sort of covers movement at a high level. We're going to get into a little bit more detail here about some of the things that have come out since then. For instance, you guys like announced the M2 for supporting rollups, and you also announced this partnership with Noble and Union to bring USDC and Ethereum security to move rollups. We'll also talk about the roadmap, but let's just maybe start with a brief overview of what is movement and what's the vision there, and specifically what does movement bring to the modular stack.
Yeah, so Thesis is a network of Move-based blockchains where we see and envision a bunch of different blockchains, eventually market share being predominant in Move's programming languages. In the past, there were monolithic giants like Aptos and Sui that really spearheaded the Move VM charge. But there's a lot of bottlenecks in terms of interoperability. It was difficult to acquire liquidity, acquire new infrastructure, get new users. So our thesis was we want to see Move adopted at scale, whether for app chains, whether it's for a general purpose L2, and really see adoption there. So within Movement, we have M2, the first Move EVM rollup on Ethereum. At the execution level, it's the Move virtual machine paired with Ethereum EVM compatibility. So it supports Solidity code as well as Move smart contracts. It lives on Ethereum for settlement, so you have native ETH directly into the protocol, as well as the decentralization and liquidity that Ethereum provides. And then DA is powered by Celestia, obviously for cheaper transaction fees and better performance. And that's connected to M1, which in the past was a subnet, but we modified it to be a decentralized shared sequencer. The thesis is they're centralized sequencers in today's market one scale. A, they can't keep up performance in next generation blockchains. In this world, we're doing 10,000, 20,000 TPS. You can't have one node that can potentially go down and ruin all those transactions. And secondary, it's just not profitable in that DA is making transaction fees much more cheaper. We saw with Celestia to Manta, and then next-gen VMs bring that cost down to like less than a 1 cent. So centralized sequencers can't scale and are actually bad for the community. Our M1 network is a decentralized shared sequencer that can power the M2 rollup, as well as other Move-based rollups that connect to the network. So basically the first Move layer 2 on Ethereum, providing solvency for other Move rollups as well.
How do you achieve a sequencer that is both shared and decentralized without just building another blockchain that also needs its own settlement layer?
Yeah, so we kind of deprecate the smart contract functionality of M1. So you, like at scale, you won't be able to publish smart contracts to it. Instead, the validators are all focused on sequencing the transactions for M2. So if you look at Espresso, Radiant, some of these other shared sequencers, they follow a similar model where they have a set of validators. Cell even does this for their layer 1, which they announced for layer 2, where existing validators all stake the native token. So if I'm an Avalanche validator, I can stake the Move token and then participate in the sequencing for the layer 2. And then all the fees that are generated from the layer 2 are then distributed back to the validators. So there's actually a double-pronged approach where validators are not only getting APY from missions, but also getting a large percentage of the sequencing fees. So it's kind of double-pronged benefit for running nodes, which in turn incentivizes them to run more nodes, which creates a further decentralized and eventually permissionless sequencing network for layer 2s.